Hey YouTube, I've got something real special to show you guys today. I bet you didn't know that Miss Ivy Night Phoenix is a collector of dragons. You could call me a queen of dragons if you would like. You can call me Khaleesi or maybe Daenerys Targaryen. But yeah, so I've been collecting a lot of Dungeons and Dragons figures for probably about 10 or 15 years. You can see there's a variety of different dragons here. And we're going to get a closer look at some of these, and I'll go over some things about it. And other than playing Magic the Gathering, I do enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes I'll play Shadowrun or Pathfinder and some of that stuff. So I've been a dungeon mistress, as I call it, or a GM. Some people call it a game master, whatever. But as you can see, I've been collecting a lot of these. These are some of my more favorite. They're called minis or miniatures. Not really that mini. I mean, compared to like a regular figure for a D&D tabletop, these are pretty big. Especially some of the ones that you see there in the rear. And interestingly enough, you can't really get these anymore. They just don't make them. They do make a newer version of some of these D&D minis, but I can say for a fact that these ones are way more durable than the ones that Wizards has been coming out with recently. I think WizKids also came out with some of these as well, which honestly, those ones, the bases just broke right off of them, a lot of those. So I believe that whoever they were using to make these originally, these ones are really super durable. I mean, I've dropped them and they've stayed together for years. But let's just like jump into some of these and see what we got. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. We've got, I believe, this is an aspect of Bahamut. Let's see. Oh, I was close. Well, he's got a name, so his name is Kuyutha, Exarch of Bahamut. He would probably be a rare figure. When you used to buy these in boxes, you would get, I think, about like 8 of them, maybe like 6 or 8 of them, and then you'd have a random inserted, either uncommon or rare, and he was a rare, but you can see how really awesome he is. I guess he might be like a dragonborn, but he's really kind of like an avatar of, obviously, Bahamut. And if you know anything about Bahamut, that actually comes from Middle Eastern mythology. And it also is found in Final Fantasy. I'm pretty sure if you played Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, I think, probably 10, there's been a Bahamut in a lot of Final Fantasy games. So it's interesting how the cross nerd culture, I guess, is that, these kind of things can go from, for different formats like Dungeons and Dragons or video games and stuff. So let's look at the next one. This one here, I believe this is probably a copper dragon. Let's see if I was right. Yep, it's a medium copper dragon. Neat little figure, a little bit dusty. They sit on the shelf sometimes. Haven't used him in a very long time. So we got a copper dragon. Now, here we go. This is a guy. He's riding a red dragon. And he is really gonna mess up your day, huh? Probably not in a very good mood. He's probably looking to conquer your kingdom. So, let's see. I bet you this is I believe they're called a Githyanki or Githyanki. Githyanki, that's it. Githyanki Dragon Knight. So, he's riding a dragon. Could you imagine if you saw an entire, I guess you could call them cavalry? I don't even think that's the right word for this, but entire cavalry of these guys flying through the sky, and you're pretty much, it's just like Game of Thrones, but imagine there were like 100 Khaleesi's coming your way. That would be pretty wild, huh? Daenerys Targaryen just messing up your day. But I really like this figure. It's really cool. I've always liked it. And let's look at another one. This one is a Hydra, actually. Not really a dragon, I guess. But you know what? Hydras are big, ugly, nasty, horrible lizard. So I think this one's called a Hero Slayer Hydra, I believe. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heads. How about that, huh? But yeah, Hero Slayer Hydra. I was right. Pretty cool. Nastiness. Roar. Roar. So, okay. Alright, this one, I believe, is a zombie dragon. So basically, dragon became necrotic and rotted and came back to life as a zombie. And let's see. Yep, I was right. Zombie dragon. Pretty cool. Definitely annoying if it's undead. So, like, if you have to fight this, I mean, you better have a lot of holy users or people that use a lot of white magic, because, yeah, probably lots of troubles going on there. Next one we're going to do is this guy. I'm going to say this is a silver dragon. See, in Dungeons and Dragons, they have chromatic dragons, which are usually colored, and they'll have ones based on metals, you know, like copper, iron, gold, bronze and silver. This one, let's see, is a silver dragon. There we go. I was right. Cool little dragon. All right, let's go to the next one. This one is a blue dragon. See? Blue dragon. Large blue dragon. They just don't really make stuff like this anymore. Like I said, I mean, even the new ones are a little bit more detailed. I noticed they have a little bit higher construction quality in terms of the detail, but the other aspect of it is they're just not made as good. They seem like they're very brittle, or the bases always seem to come unglued from the rest of the figure. Some of the newer versions from like WizKids or something, I've had to re-glue the bottoms back onto the dragon, and even then it's kind of dicey. It doesn't work that great. So I believe this is a fettered Dracolich, although I already flipped it over and we can tell that that's what it is. Looks like it's another kind of a zombie dragon, so this is way worse than the other one, though. I think this would be a very high-level creature at the bottom of some necromantic dungeon or something. Basically, a necromancer raised a dead dragon and created this, obviously. Pretty brutal. Let's go to the next thing. I believe this is probably, I want to say bronze dragon. I'm going with that. But look how pretty, and the way that I like the way that they designed it and had the dragon look really dramatic, really pretty stuff. And let's see if I was right. Yep, I was right. Large bronze dragon. Cool. And this one. This is a gray dragon. See? Yep, from now on you can all call me the Queen of Dragons. It's an adult gray dragon. Pretty cool, huh? I just love that they're all different. They're in different poses, or different sizes, different sort of styles. I mean, there was a time in the 80s where, people really got into D&D, and a lot of the art that came out of that period was really highly dramatic. I mean, some of it was like barbarians standing on the top of a mountain with two, they're like super buff guys holding a sword to the sky, kind of like He-Man. And then there's these two, like barbarian chicks or whatever. They were just like clinging to his rippling quadricep muscles and stuff, and it was an 80s thing, and dragons were a big part of that, and fairies and all that stuff. That's what gave us a lot of interesting and crazy stuff like Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja, which those things are also based on comic books. So I'm a big enough nerd where I kind of got into that stuff for a while, and I have those comics too. All right, we got another dragon. I believe this is another copper dragon. I could be wrong. Oh, brass. Okay. Okay, cool. Brass is another type of metal. I think it's a mixture of like, I want to say like tin and copper, or nickel and copper. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a dragon. Rawr. Next dragon we got is this one. There we go. I think this might be called like a deep dragon or something. I think it's from the Underdark somewhere. Let me see if I was right. Oh, guess not. It's called an Iron Dragon Prowler. Still pretty cool, though. It's Iron Dragon. Guess if you hit him with water, you might start to rust, huh? I wonder. Next dragon we got is a green dragon. This is definitely a probably elder green dragon, I'm pretty sure. I probably have used this guy at one point. Had some people fight him. I think in a game, when we've had this guy out, I think the players might have been like level, I want to say like 18, 19, or 20 when I put this guy out at one point. But you can see he's ready for action, ready to mess some things up. God, how about Game of Thrones, right? That's some amazing stuff. I just can't wait for the new season to come out. It's gonna be epic. I'm just curious what Daenerys Targaryen's gonna end up doing, how she's gonna fuck up the world, or what's gonna happen with the White Walkers. Is it gonna be like a zombie Dracolich versus her dragons? We're gonna see how that goes, right? I believe this might be a wyvern. I don't even know if this is an actual real dragon. Let's see. Oh, I was right. Yep, it's a wyvern. How about that? Good stuff. All right, next dragon, I believe this is a purple dragon. I've always wanted a bigger figure of a purple dragon. I always liked the coloring and kind of the styling of this type of dragon. Again, it's another chromatic. Really pretty cool. All right. Next dragon is going to be, this is one of my favorites, actually. It's so pretty. It's got a very sort of, I want to say Asian or Chinese style to it. You can see how he looks. He's definitely a elder or large golden dragon. So not only do dragons hoard things and sit on giant piles of gold, well, this one's made of entire gold. I had a little, like, I think a regular one of these once, and players killed him, but they couldn't carry him off, so they were chopping pieces off of him. But eventually, the gold kind of, if I remember correctly, something weird happened to it because it was part of his body. And it's kind of weird, like the frills. I made that these were made out of like partially gold, and people tried to take that and his scales and stuff. And, you know, it didn't really help him out too much because it was difficult to carry and people just ended up ditching it. But he was a lot of treasure, that's for sure. He was loaded with treasure when we did that campaign. And yeah, people had a lot of loot. They had so much loot they couldn't carry it off. It literally was it was down in a really deep, like caved, like temple type place, you know, and they just couldn't carry off the loot. Loot had to stay down there, most of it, but they got some pretty good stuff out of that. Okay, this guy is nasty. Would be a Dracolich, I'm certain of that. Yep, Dracolich. So he's pretty nasty. I mean, this right here, you have to have magic users really just to even think about dealing with this. This is not your friend. Let's just put it that way. Basically, it's what the White Walkers, the White Walker turned one of Daenerys' dragons into was this. It was great. When I was watching Game of Thrones, I was like, wow, he just made a Dracolich. Damn, that's nasty. All right, now we got this one. This is a volcanic dragon. You can see what he looks like. Really cool. And young volcanic dragon. I don't know if they made a bigger version of this. I think there's a few other like newer ones that started making these again. Like I said, Wiz Kids and a couple others, and Wizards. I think Wizards of the Coast. I think they went ahead and contract these out, and you know, some of them are okay. But there we go. We got this is a Elder White Dragon. Look at that. He's really cool. Oh. White dragon. Oh, I like that one. And the next one, I believe, is this guy. Rar. I think this is I don't know. I want to say it's maybe, let's see. Oh, Aspect of Bahamut. I had a feeling it was something to do with Bahamut. Really cool, though. All right, next dragon we're going to do is this guy. This is actually one of my favorites. It's a black dragon, but it's got a sorcerer that's riding him. Here, you can see the sorcerer really well. There we go. Isn't that cool? Look at that guy. The sorcerer riding a black dragon. I mean, not only is the black dragon just plain terror, it was horrible. I mean, I know that thing spits, if I remember correctly, like poison and does some really nasty things to your party, but it's got probably a necromancer riding him. You see this, it's like, oh crap, DM hates us today. Yep, pretty cool. I love that figure. And he's not a dragon, but I figured I'd bring him out anyway. This guy If you've played Dungeons and Dragons for the last, I don't know, how long has that game been out? This is the 70s? I want to say like 45 years or something. Well, I think you know what he is. He is what's called a beholder. Um, if you don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, we'll just say that this guy, yeah, I mean, I think he shoots lasers from those tentacle things, which are all eyes, and there's got one big giant eye, and all kinds of nastiness and nasty sort of psychic molestation that happens to your characters from this guy. He can like make your characters just get lost in the woods, and you're like a mile away from his lair and stuff. These things usually hide underground or in some kind of cave in a lair. And yeah, pretty serious business. Beholder. I think it's called a Beholder Tyrant, if I remember correctly. Beholder Ultimate Tyrant. Okay. So he's the ultimate masters of Beholders. Okay. Alright, and then we got this guy. I'm pretty sure this is a Elder Iron Dragon. Yep, okay. So it's another metallic dragon. You can see what he looks like. Still kind of dusty. He was on the shelf for a while. Here's one of my original favorites. This is one of the first dragons. I got this out of a box. I bought the figures in a little box wherever he came in. I was like, that was the day. I was so happy I got him. So he would be an Elder Red Dragon. Definitely amazing stuff. I was thinking, I really truly believe that the writer for Game of Thrones, I really believe that he probably was a DM, or at the minimum, he played Dungeons and Dragons. I watched that show, and I've said, you know what? I really believe this guy played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I really think so. George R.R. Martin, I swear that guy's a DM. He's got the look, I'm sorry, He's got that DM spread, where he's been either writing or being a DM. I just think so. But this is another one of my favorites. This would be an Elder Blue Dragon. This one's very detailed. This is one of the last sets that came out. So I started to get a little bit more detailed, I noticed, when the very last sets of these different... they're almost like Magic the Gathering cards that come out with different series and things. I think this was the last series that came out. And these were a little bit... I noticed a little bit more detail, a little bit nicer, and they are really solid. I gotta give them credit. I can drop this figure from 10 feet and it'll still be in good shape. Because they're really durable, really high quality. But yeah, there he is. Alright, next dragon we're going to do is the big guys back here. This would be, I believe, a Gargantuan Black Dragon. I guess you could call it like a world boss. I mean, I've never brought this guy out. I've never had a party that could fight him. He's probably like level, it depends on the D&D version you're doing. I think in D&D 3, 3.5, he was probably like level 30 or something crazy. He was way up there. Just a world nasty dragon sitting in probably his own mutated necromantic world full of, surrounded by zombies and swamps and all kinds of things. But isn't he beautiful though? I mean, look at the quality of this. It's so pretty, for a figure, and it's just huge. And yep, Gargantuan Black Dragon. They don't make stuff like that anymore. They do kind of, but I guess officially, in official capacity, it's a little bit different. Now this guy is actually some kind of demon. I think his name is Orcus, Prince of the Undeath. This guy, I never had a party that could ever fight this guy. Unless, I'm pretty sure he's, like, again, it depends on the version, but he's probably at the top of the heap in terms of, like, things you would ever possibly face in Dungeons and Dragons. I think he lives in his own, like, weird little dimension down in the realms of hell or something. He summons, like a 30, I think it's like a 100 or 120 foot or certain amount of feet radius of necromancy that usually brings up some like zombies out of the ground and pretty much reses everything that's dead around him, and nastiness, total and complete nastiness. He's huge though. Yeah, so that would be Orcus, Prince of the Undeath. Wow, nastiness. And then we've got this guy. This would be another Gargantuan. It's a Gargantuan Blue Dragon this time. Let's see if I was right. Yep, Gargantuan Blue Dragon. Yep. Again, I've never had anybody face this because any of the players that have ever played in any campaigns that I designed or did myself, they just would have been a TPK, total party kill, if I put this against them. You know, it would just one stomp or whatever, or you just wipe them out. So maybe someday I'll play like a top level players someday, and maybe they'll fight this. Or maybe I'll be in a game where I fight something like this. I have, been a player in a couple campaigns where we did fight a dragon, but it was like only a level 9 or level 11 or something. It was never anything crazy like some of these. So anyway, I just wanted to share my dragons. These ones back here are not official, Wizards of the Coast things, but I liked them anyway. I mean, I got these from, you're not going to believe this, Home Depot, of all places. Home Depot sold that. I was like, Home Depot has one of these? Really? Okay, whatevs. Sure, it's cool. I'll totally take that. I was like, shut up and take my money. It's amazing. And they light up. I think it's a Halloween decoration, but I was like, okay, well, I'm going to keep it and put it out whenever I want. And there's the other one. They had a red one and a blue one. I was like, yep, that's an auto buy. I just grabbed them and said, gotta have this. But look at it. Isn't that great? Look at that. And kind of see what he's doing. That is a big dragon. But yeah, he lights up and everything. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Hope you enjoy my dragon collection. I mean, I have a lot more great dragons all over this house than these, but these is official Wizard product, or Wizards of the Coast stuff that came out, I believe, in the mid to early 2000s. I think some of the earliest of these is from 2002, 2003. They don't make these anymore, but they are great figures. I've always enjoyed them, and I hope you guys can see what's going on with that. But anyway, thanks for looking at my dragons with me. And can't wait for Game of Thrones. And we'll see what Khaleesi can do to wreck up the White Walkers. And I don't know, maybe, Tyrion Lannister can just roll 20s on his charisma score like he always does. He's like auto 20. That's all I'm going to say is that Tyrion, little dwarf guy, he put all his points into charisma. He's like got a +5, +6 to every roll on charisma every time he interacts with people. It's gotta be if you're a dwarf, you gotta do something right, Gotta put your stats somewhere. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy my nerdy dragon video, and feel free to leave comments. Tell me about some cool stuff, maybe D&D related, or dragons related, or maybe Game of Thrones related. By all means, you can put the comments down. Alright, y'all. Love ya.